So let me introduce you properly to the Deputy Leader of the Labour Party, Tom Watson. He's been Jeremy Corbyn's deputy for 3 years, although it probably feels like 30. Jeremy's on the left. Some of his people want Tom to vanish. He's done his best to help them by losing 7 stone. We'll come to politics in due course, but first I must ask about the weight. I don't think I've seen you since the sudden loss, so congratulations. Do people say that to you a lot?
Well, luckily, most people don't recognise me anymore. So,
we've got a photo of you as you were.
Yeah.
I wanted to see the Glastonbury one, but you were not small.
No, I'd been putting on weight, like a lot of middle-aged guys, I've been putting weight on for about 30 years from my early 20s. I tried different diets and lost a little bit of weight, and then it had yo-yoed back up. And, I hit 22 stone, which is morbidly obese.
What's your height, roughly speaking?
About 5'10".
Right.
So, even for overweight people, that was very overweight. And I developed high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes, and hit my 50s and thought, if I don't deal with this, I'm going to die. And
I read somewhere that you had been reading, biographies of Labour people from the past and how a lot of them did die early.
Yeah, well, a sort of hero of mine was the late, great John Smith, who was a former leader of the Labour Party, who died in his 50s. Robin Cook died young. And I just thought, I've got a high-pressure job. I work long hours. If I carry on like this, it's going to, I am going to lose my life. And so I'd been in denial. I think a lot of middle-aged men deny the fact that they've got to address their sort of health concerns. And it took me about 2 years to get to the point where I addressed it. But
you do look completely different. I mean, your face is different, everything. Have you had to throw all your clothes out?
Yeah, my 13-year-old is threatening to sell it all on eBay, so it's sitting in a pile. And if he doesn't sell it quickly, I'm going to give it to the local charity shop. But actually, my local members in West Bromwich kept looking at me on the TV and said I was falling into my suits, so they donated their clothes to me while I was sort of losing weight. So,
we've got 2 doctors here. Obviously, so it's fascinating to think that you have reversed your type 2 diabetes. Now, I don't know officially if you can do that, but you basically got no symptoms now, is that right?
Yeah, I don't say I've reversed it, because I say I've put it into remission.
Right.
Because I understand type 2 diabetes to be a sugar-related, about sugar resistance and insulin resistance. So I know that if I increase my sugar intake again, my type 2 diabetes will return.
Right.
So I've changed my nutrition, which has meant that I've come off medication to treat type 2 diabetes.
And your nutrition has changed how? That's the key thing.
It's changed significantly. I've cut out all refined sugar and high sugar food, and essentially I now eat real food rather than ultra-processed food, because it's very hard to tell what is put into those sort of microwave meals and all the products that we eat, because we've got busy lives.
So it's not just about cutting out Mars bars and galaxies, it's about sugar getting into stuff like yogurt and all that.
Yeah, the worst thing for me, you go for your lunch, you buy those things off the shelf in Marks and Spencer's, even if you buy a little portion of chicken, and it's like got brown sugar in it. And and that's why I say, it's very, I don't want to judge people about being overweight, because in many senses, it seems like the system is currently stacked against them. Making rational choice is very hard for people, because marketing, advertising, hidden sort of food is hard for people with busy lives to weave their way through.